Hello, welcome back to Friday's session of Mrs. Hewitt's Spelling at Home. Now, for Key Stage 1 on a Friday, we look at just one word in particular, a word that you probably use quite a lot in your writing, and then we look at how, by knowing to spell that word, you can spell lots of other words that have that word in it by adding different suffixes, that's different endings, onto your root word, your main word that we're going to learn. So today we're going to look at a word which you can't sound out, and actually it's one that you might have done during the week. It is this one. And I don't know if you can remember from Wednesday, but that says watch. And remember, it's a tricky one because we normally have that as the ah sound, but in this word it makes an o, it makes watch, and we've got our ch there. So we've got the word watch, and that can be a verb, can't it? Something that you do if you watch television, and also it can be a noun, which is a thing, like the watch that you wear on your wrist to tell the time. So we're going to be working with the word watch today. Now I'm going to show you our grid, our morpheme grid, this is called, because these are morphemes, because they are meanings, they are parts of word that have meaning. And you can see there that we can make 4 different words using our root word watch. So we've got the word watch on its own, and then we've got 4 other words that we can make, and you can write them as your word sum. So see if you can write the 4 words now using that grid. You can pause the video now. Okay, so let's have a look at the word sums that you could have made. So here at the top we have watches, and this is normally, for most words, you just put an S on the end if you're saying that you have more than one, or you're using the third person verb form of watches, like he watches. But because we've got the ch sound here, we have to have ES. And if you listen, it sounds like watches, it sounds like an I, okay, but it's not. It's an ES on the end of that. So we've got watches, we've got watched, and again, watched sounds like a t at the end, but because we know our rules about the past tense, and we know that if we're saying something happened in the past, it's an ed ending, just like in looked and jumped and played. Also in watched, it's an ed ending. So you break that word up into watch and then the past tense suffix, which is ed, watched. Okay, we've got watching, watching if you're doing it now, and also we've got watcher, which you probably won't use as much, but that could be somebody that watches. Okay, and we talked about our endings yesterday as well. So we've got a watcher, somebody that watches. Okay, so using those 4 words, I'm going to leave them here for you. So if you need to pause the video, you can. I want you to try and write a sentence with each of these words in. A sentence with watches, a sentence with watched, a sentence with watching, and a sentence with watcher. So if you want to, you can pause the video now and do that, or you can look at my sentences first and then have a go at writing your own sentences at the end. Okay, so if you're going to have a go on your own, pause the video now. If you're not, I will show you my sentences. So the first sentence that I've written is using the word watches, and I've got here, he watches films in the evening. So that's because I'm using the he, the third person. So he or she watches films in the evening. And then I've got watched. We watched the news yesterday. And because it was yesterday, it was in the past, I'm using the past tense. We watched the news yesterday. Okay, so now I've got to do a sentence with watching. So I've got the children like watching television. Television is a long word there. Television, vision meaning watching. The children like watching television. And watcher was a tricky one, so I've used bird watcher. The bird watcher saw a robin, because a bird watcher is somebody that goes out and spots birds, a bird watcher. So the bird watcher saw is one of our sight words, our tricky spelling words to remember, a robin. The bird watcher saw a robin. So they were my 4 sentences. Hopefully you managed to write 4 sentences at home as well, and you'll remember how to spell watch, and you'll remember some of those rules for adding those endings and how you can remember that root word and attaching those different bits if you're writing the ing or the ed ending. Okay, so well done, and I will see you next week for some more spelling at home. Bye.